Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Borderline Hooligans podcast. To the right of me, I have Brennan.
Ahoy, ahoy.
To the right of him is Savannah.
Hello.
To the right of her is Brady.
Present.
And to the right of him is Alex.
Booga booga, motherfuckers.
My name is Aaron, and welcome back to the Mother Podcast.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as BL Hooligans. You can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, and many other, by many, I mean like 2 other podcast platforms as Borderline Hooligans. And as always, if you're curious, we're on a social media page. Please just look up Borderline Hooligans. It's not hard. I'm sure you can find us. Make it very simple to find people.
Fuck them other things in the background.
That's not going to fuck this recording up, will it?
No.
Okay.
No.
It'll still record. It's just
It just started
just
recording.
do the buffer.
Okay.
I've literally
I
just
feel like
started.
every person I watch on YouTube that, like, I hate saying this out loud, but every person I watch on YouTube has had their moment where they're like, I recorded an entire video and
None of it
just
recorded.
fucked up and the file corrupted. And
Spawn.
like, that is one of my
Aw.
bigger
Driver.
fears.
Aaron Hernandez.
I died.
Sucks to suck.
You know how many times I almost accidentally read out crewmate,
Perfect.
do your tasks, like the other night when we were playing Among Us.
Really?
It just, my body goes, sweet crewmate, like read it out loud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What exactly is this stuff?
It's a margarita.
Well, I can't read.
It's a Cayman Jack margarita.
I've never had anything margarita related.
Well, you're probably not going to like it.
Probably not.
Where's the salt?
You want me to get you salt?
Gotta drink the margarita out of the margarita rocks. The little glass.
Oh my god.
Drink it out of the glass.
Drink it out of the shot glass in the crock.
I mean, it is usable, I guess.
It is.
I don't like that it's fizzy.
Oh, is it?
A little bit.
It's not
You
the
can
worst
have
thing,
some
but
Oh, I was just asking him. Like,
Oh.
it's not good though.
I
Thank
told
you
you
for
you
the
weren't
offer.
going to like it.
I would say that it's better than Miller Lite, bitch.
So,
Doesn't take
where
much.
on earth does this rank for you?
Can't see my ranking yet.
Well,
I'm not sure.
be patient. Be patient.
I gotta base it off of other things I've tried.
That was
Damn.
aggressive. I'm so
He's
sorry.
authoritative.
Somebody's getting drunk tonight.
She's in charge.
I tried hard ciders and some wines the other day, and I can tell you that wines taste a lot worse than hard ciders do.
Wines are god awful.
They taste like ass.
What
Yep.
kind of hard ciders?
You don't fucking know.
I don't remember. They had all kinds of different flavors. It was at a brewery that we went to.
He said it's better than Miller Lite.
How was that, by the way? Was it a good place?
It was neat. It was kind of small.
Was it?
We're busy the
I
entire
figured
time.
it wouldn't be that big because I never heard of it.
Me either.
Until you said it Saturday.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was better than Bush Apple. It's trying to think of Natter Days with that.
That's
I would
pretty
say
high,
between
actually.
Bush Apple and Natter Days.
Damn, 7th overall. That's actually pretty high.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good.
Brennan, just so you know, we're ranking all things on this list that I don't think are good.
Well,
I don't think you've understood this.
do you understand?
Where are you going with it?
Like, if you compared pink lemonade on this list, you know where this would end up on the top. So, like, these are all below standards here.
I take it you're done with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We trying the Lipton thing, or are you saving that? I don't care. I just
Oh, well, as you can see, my cup is full.
See, somebody has to
So when
finish.
it
That
is
is a
empty?
big can. So
And that's a tall boy. So,
I think
Just
it's actually a
asking.
silo.
I mean,
Probably.
we'll probably wait until next time to do that one.
all right.
Fair enough.
Because
You
I
want to
am,
try something else, Brady?
No, I'm just. He had it there. I didn't know if that was what his
I
plan
thought
something
about
else?
it, but you know,
fiending, boy?
was.
You what?
Brady's
No.
fiending. All right, guys, welcome to Brady's AA.
Damn it.
He's
It was so funny that we had to explain that to. I don't know if she wants her name on the podcast.
probably
so
not.
Let's
Cam's
not.
fiance. It was so funny that we had to explain
Brady,
to
are
her
you
that
in-
I didn't actually need Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, she's seen that on the board and she was like, "So are you?"
Oh boy.
And I was like, "No, completely a joke."
Yeah, and I had to, put the T word out there.
Yes.
The T word. Gosh damn it.
She clearly is not
Testosterone.
a fan of our program.
Teetotaler. Testosterone.
Testosterone. Oh, yeah.
Titties.
Titties.
Testosterone totaler.
Testosterone totaler.
So, there's
Yes.
actually something I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
Get your guys' opinion.
Alrighty.
Is it a girl?
No. Fuck off.
Mm.
I clean my house, and it's a girl. Why can't it be a boy, Sav? Why can't it be a boy?
Because we know
It
better.
can, but I know you. You've let me swipe through your Tinder.
That's very true.
That's
There's
just
al-
a front.
There's only one guy on that sumbitch.
Ryan Reynolds. It's me. Oh, sorry.
She already knows about that, and she's not
Jokes.
happy about it. So
Jokes.
Sometimes.
If anybody here didn't know this yet, Sav does not find me funny one bit.
No, she has no sense of humor.
It's fucking dead.
Ow.
she's coming around to my humor though, and it's scary.
Okay, sorry, Alex. What were you saying again?
So you guys know that I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
He's
So
gonna be a streamer.
I want to be. It's probably never going to happen though. So with playing that game, a key feature in it is that you can upgrade your body with cybernetics
Mhm.
or cyberorganics or whatever. And so I got curious and actually started looking them up. And right now, they're predicting within 2030 to 2040, we'll actually have cybernetics that can connect to actual nervous systems. So if like you lose your arm, you can actually get a cybernetic arm that you can actually attach. But if it gets to the point where you can actually like upgrade yourself more or less with them,
Mm.
would you guys do any of that?
So for years, every time somebody is like, hey, if you don't wear safety glasses, you're going to hurt your eyes, or hey, if you don't wear ear protection, you're going to hurt your ears, I'm just like, and by the time I have to worry about that, we're going to have cyborgs anyway, so I'll be good. So like, I don't know if
Well, they
I
actually-
necessarily go for the upgrade thing where like nothing's wrong upgraded.
I could use a new pinky.
Well, I mean-
Two things. Eyesight needs fixed, and a fucking cyber dick sounds cool.
Cyber dick. First
funny-
in line for the cyber
The
dick.
funny thing is, in that game, they actually talk about lines of cyber dicks.
Nice.
Damn.
That's the game with John Wick in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
He plays
Keanu
as-
Reeves. Sorry.
yeah, Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Same guy, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a bit of
just
It's
don't
like,
don't fuck with
uh,
this dog. You're fine.
Yes.
It's like Nick Offerman and Ron Swanson. Nobody ever calls him Nick Offerman.
No, it's
He's
only
Ron
Ron
Swanson.
Ron Swanson. Ron fucking Swanson.
No, but they actually have cured a couple of people's blindness using this, like cybernetics techniques. Like there's sensors in their eyes that send electronic signals to the brain that stimulate seeing light,
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
I don't think I would go for straight up just upgrading something that's not broken.
Yeah.
you're telling me,
If I lost an arm, fuck yeah, I want
Wait.
a robot arm.
so you're telling me if you could get like Assassin's Creed's hidden wrist blades built into you,
What reason would I have use for that?
it's fucking dope.
Until you accidentally stab your dog trying to pet the fucking thing.
That's fucked.
It happened too. It would happen. You
It
know.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Be like, come here. Oh fuck. I'll just get my robot
And of
shovel
all the
out and
upgrades you
dig
could
this
get,
fucking-
that's what you
robot
could
shovel.
think of.
I'm just saying, like that would be something up your alley.
It also depends on like if there's side effects to this stuff and like expenses, how expensive this stuff is.
Yeah.
Killing your dog.
If my insurance can cover it, then let's go.
Replacement wise, if I lose something, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But-
Would I like to
When-
just like be able to add strength to my arms? For sure. Like
Well, that would be basically upgrading.
And
That'd be part of
You
it.
know, steroids are a thing nowadays, but
every time I think of steroids, I think of the movie Benchwarmers.
Oh,
When he
no.
tells them that steroids are in mac and cheese and steroids make your pee-pee smaller.
Yeah.
I just love that. What a movie.
anybody else have anything to add on to that?
What are you guys
no,
upgrading?
I don't want to contribute to this conversation.
I'd say, you know, if I lost something, sure.
Well, they're also working. They have a. I think the predicted dates like the 90s. But consciousness transferring too. So I was wondering what your guys' thoughts were on that.
Like transferring different bodies, or what do we?
Like copying your conscience onto a computer, potentially being able to be a robot, to be programmed.
Yeah, fuck that.
No.
See,
We
I
don't
don't
need
like
any
any
of
of this
that.
AI shit the way it is.
Nope.
So anything along that, it's a fuck no for me.
Could you imagine somebody hacking you?
Yeah, that would be fucked.
It's fucked
I
up.
mean, if the cybernetics come into play, someone could hack that too.
Imagine being a robot. Somebody hacks you with like infinite boner, like just all the time. There you're stuck.
Oh, my cyber dick's broken.
Oh fuck!
Or they give you erectile dysfunction. Goes both
What do they
ways.
do? Stick a USB drive and hook it up to your computer to shut it off?
How do you fix this robotic erectile dysfunction?
I just said it. You just plug your dick into a computer and you delete the file.
Instead
You
of
get rid of the virus. I mean, you
Yeah.
run some malware.
yeah, instead of doctors, you know,
Get the
like,
digital clap.
digital STDs, you can
Oh my
literally get a
gosh.
virus.
You know, you stick your digital PP in her digital vagina.
Oh no.
Doctors, instead of giving you like prescriptions, they just like plug you in and run a little diagnosis test. And
You know,
It's like going to the fucking car shop to get your car worked on. They just plug the computer right in.
they just open Task Manager and start closing things.
Why is there so much porn open on this
Oh,
thing?
no.
No wonder why your dick's hard as a rock. You have nothing but porn on this thing.
Shit.
Oh god, you guys laugh at that, but that is like a big basis of the game. Like Ripper Docs are the people that put in the cybernetics and they get rid of the viruses on it and everything. And also hacking is a big thing with the game where you hack people's stuff.
That's fucked up. That's
That do be
terrifying.
fucked up.
I thought it was terrifying when they added all the fancy computers to cars. And like there was a possibility of people's cars getting hacked. That's already fucked up enough.
Yeah. You
Like-
know, going 80 on the interstate, and someone's
Yeah.
like, hey, fuck this guy. Click.
Huh, no.
Brakes locked up, your car flips 7 times, and you're dead.
But your whole
Good day.
body.
Good day.
Good day.
I mean, it's going to come to that point at some point.
Eventually, but, you know, not tomorrow, so.
No, but it's just
goodness.
something fun to think about, I
Yeah.
think.
If I'm not connected, like if I lost my arm and I got a robot arm, as long as it's not connected to the internet, sounds good.
Well, none of this stuff is connected to the internet or anything.
So they had to, like, hack your brain?
Yeah. Because this stuff is connected to your brain and you like run on OS or whatever.
All right, guys,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
leave my brain out of it.
I'm gonna be a hypnotist from now on.
Woo!
But no, I just think it's cool because it would be cool to get like a cannon in your arm.
Brady,
Someone
follow
just
my
fucks
finger.
with you.
Getting very sleepy.
Alex
Brady.
wants this like I want Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, then a cannon in my arm, and I'm like, wow, those are real practical things for day to day.
I want to be Cyborg from Teen Titans. God damn it!
There you go. So speaking of AI, we brought that up a little bit earlier. Have any of you messed with that AI thing on your Snapchat?
Nope. I read the message and I swiped out of it. I did
Yeah,
not.
same.
I
I
did
didn't
not.
know that
It's
was a
still
thing.
pinned though for me.
I know. Still pinned.
And then the use your Snapchat on your computer is still pinned at the top no matter what.
I don't have that issue. I've never.
So stupid that you cannot get rid of this thing at all.
Well, it's probably because your phone's not old anymore. I
No.
can't make that joke.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever getting this message either. Maybe I didn't update Snapchat. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, my Snapchat updated itself, and that kind of pissed me off.
No, I'm kind of ready to get rid of Snapchat entirely. I'm getting tired of it. It's becoming more of a nuisance than a convenience.
What does this AI do? I've never.
Supposedly, it helps you use Snapchat. I don't know. I haven't dug into it.
Like Snapchat isn't easy enough to use, and you need something to help you with it.
Yeah.
There's some shifty things going on here.
No, I'm ready to get rid of Snapchat. I think Snapchat might be the next social media for me to go.
I use it all the time. There's no way I'm getting rid of it. So
The only time I use it is to talk to you fuckers. So
Well, that's the point of it.
group chat, texting.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, just
yeah, the
It's a
only people
lot
that
easier to
text
send
me,
fucking memes on the Snapchat, though.
it is.
It is. I agree.
Much
the only
easier.
people that ever text me are my family or work. So I like to keep like friends on Snapchat, family on text. Usually, if it's text, it's important.
True.
And then if it's Snapchat, it's like, yeah, just general. What time we doing this? What are we
Yeah.
going on tonight?
You mean that stuff's not important, Brady?
It's
Are
more
we not
like
important to you?
Are you telling me your work's not fun? I have my boss on Snapchat. God damn it!
do not.
I
boss
don't. I
doesn't
don't have my
Snapchat.
boss. My boss doesn't even have a Snapchat.
seem like the type.
It's
that
a
might.
good thing that he doesn't, because I probably send him shit that he doesn't want to see during work hours.
Oh no. Oh no.
I've seen like different AI things coming up, and the ones where you can literally like type in a prompt and it just like write the story or different things. I think those are neat, but
Got GBT.
yeah,
But like the ones that like imitate other people, those are kind of freaky.
Yes.
Those are also expensive. Like, you know how we talked about doing that?
Yeah.
It's rather expensive.
Yeah.
Thing
I
is,
mean,
it'll
Alex
s-
spent his life savings on, this podcast because none of us are actually real.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like anything that starts out
Yes.
expensive, as it becomes more prominent, it'll
Oh, it's just like
become cheaper.
computer storage. It'll always get cheaper. It'll always get cheaper.
Yeah.
It's just quality will go up on the expensive ones, and the cheaper ones will just be the old ones. And I mean, they're already ridiculously good.
The deep fakes are the stuff that are gonna scare me when you won't be able to tell in the future if a video is real or
I
not.
just think all of that stuff can just
Already
be
we're to
fabricated.
that point.
Well, they're already to the point where they're creating stuff to detect AI in that. So the people that are making the AI are going to make something that beats that, and then
Yeah.
so on and so forth, just like cybersecurity with your computer. It's constantly a battle between the two.
Mhm.
Because nothing's unhackable. It's just harder to hack than other things.
I don't know how we're gonna get to the point where how we're gonna be able to prove, this is a real video of this person doing this, or if this is a fake.
Like I said, them going into the code of the video itself.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I can see it getting to the point where certain news organizations have their own AI sort of thing like that, and they can keep that to themselves
Yeah.
Did
and
you,
completely fabricate news.
did you guys see that? There's a bunch of news channels across the country. A lot of them had the exact same prompt that they read.
Yes.
Well, that's not.
Well, they're all.
That's
they're-
not a new thing.
But actually,
No.
that video is actually not a new. Like that's relatively old.
Is it?
Probably
Yeah.
a couple of years, but yes, it just came recirculated back around.
It's
again
actually funny
recently.
how often it happens that 5 or 6 news organizations have the exact same things that they talk about, like word for word.
They're given a script.
They're all owned by like the same people. What do you expect?
Well,
it's-
I
it's
know,
pretty
but I
messed up.
mean, just to like not even put any effort into make it a little fucking different.
No.
Like all they do
why
is
would they?
change the locate. Like we are this news station, and then everything else is.
Would be like, hey, this is San Antonio, and then this would be Dallas, and they're the exact same fucking shit.
And one's owned by CNN and one's owned by Fox, and they say the exact same thing.
Because everyone's owned by fucking Disney.
Oh, kind of.
A good chunk of stuff's owned by Disney. It's scary how much power corporations are starting to have.
Yeah.
But in the society we live in, it's kind of inevitable.
like
Oh,
the
yeah.
companies that we have Pepsi, and then we've got Lay's, and they're like all part of the same parent company.
Yep.
And then so is Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC. Like
Mhm.
there's it's amazing how many companies are all underneath this one roof, but they act like they have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
Shit. There's probably I think there's 2 or 3 companies that own everything in the United States franchise wise and everything else. Other than, small startup businesses.
I think it's
haven't-
actually 7.
Yeah,
Seven.
there's more than that. I've seen
I
there
thought-
actually is a big
7 mega corporations that own pretty much everything.
Yeah.
which for
I
everything
knew it wasn't meant-
is a lot.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't much. I just didn't know how few or how many, I guess.
Yeah, if you look at there's somebody put together like a big picture that's got it's got like the 7 of them on it,
It's
and
kind
then
of
it's
like
got like
a
a
pie
web
chart kind of like thing.
coming out showing like who owns what, and then it kind of works its way down the line of this. They own this to this, and it kind of like a big family tree or some shit.
Yeah.
Remember when,
Flow
you,
chart.
remember when we used to bust monopolies like 100 years ago? Fun
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, we don't have the power to do that anymore.
Well, that's the thing the government did. Now they're one and the same, pretty much.
Oh,
One's
the
beholden to
government
other.
is way below these mega corporations.
Well, because the government learned from their fucking mistakes and be like, hey, we could actually use these to our advantage.
Yes.
It's true.
They have inside interest.
Well, yeah, that's everybody.
If you're not making money, you're wasting your time anymore.
Unfortunately.
Well, I got a quick story to tell you, folks.
Is it quick?
It can be quick, yeah.
No, it doesn't need to
Take
be.
as long as you want.
This is gonna be a 6-hour story that could really be done in 5 minutes.
All right, here we go.
Do it. I'm ready.
You're going to tell us every detail. I want to know how the air tasted.
There was about approximately 2,422 hairs on this guy's head.
I'd hope I have a little more than that.
Just threw out a random number.
Okay, so I went shopping at Walmart and Lowe's yesterday, and I was driving interstate back to my house. I was in the fast lane, and I was just driving probably about 78, 79 miles an hour. This white Ram pickup truck comes up from behind me. Didn't even notice he was there until he flashed his lights at me. I'm like, I'm going damn near 10 over, bud. I'm like, you know what? There's a semi coming up here. He tried passing me on the right. Couldn't get past he couldn't pass me in time because of the semi. And so I played the game. I'm going to slow down at the same speed as the semi so you can't pass me either way game. He did not like this. I probably went the same speed as that semi for a solid 2-3 miles maybe. And this guy was fucking pissed. I could tell his face was getting red. I looked back there and he's just like gripping the steering wheel as hard as he fucking could. I'm like, I might die because of this motherfucker.
It would be a Ram driver.
It would be a Ram driver, honestly. It doesn't surprise me that it was. But anyway, I finally go fast enough for him to pass me. He passed me, flips me off, which I saw coming, which that did absolutely nothing to my feelings because I thought it was pretty funny. And then as he's passing me, he doesn't notice the state dick camping to the left of me. And this guy is going like 80, 90 miles an hour now. And then so he cuts me off, goes in front of me. And so I go over to the right lane. Then like he turns his turn signal on like he's going to cut me off again. And then he swerves back in the left lane. And he just starts waving. I'm like, you're a jackass, because as soon as like he stopped waving, the state dick fucking flew by me and pulled his ass over. Talk about instant fucking karma.
That's hilarious.
He pulled over and I gave him a fucking shit-eating grin like no other.
The best part is the fact that you fucked with him for who knows how long, and then he finally retaliates, and that's when he gets pulled over.
Yeah. Just because, he wanted me to go a little faster.
I get a lot of those like POV of Ram drivers on the interstate on Instagram.
Yes.
And like they act exactly like
Yeah. And he had fucking Kentucky basketball stickers. I'm like, oh, this guy's a mega douche. This guy doesn't know fucking jack diddly shit about life. He only knows one thing and one thing only, and that is Kentucky basketball.
And fucking his cousin, of course.
And fucking his cousin, because, Ram truck.
Yep. Dodge the daughter, ram the father.
There you go.
Did you guys see that video of a Ram truck, and the caption was not enough Dodge, too much Ram?
Yeah, I know it was like shattered.
No,
Or like it was wrapped around a pole or something.
no, the truck was like in the entry ramp or entrance ramp onto the interstate. He was going pretty slow, and then he just fucking hits it. The whole front end of this truck lifts up. He goes barreling down the road, and those like big ass posts that hold up the interstate signs that are above to tell you where you're at. He hits that and rolls the fucking thing into the side of a semi.
I've seen a lot of them with that caption, but I've never seen that video.
I just thought it was funny because like he was been perfectly fine if he didn't just try to be a show off dick and just ram it, but he just whoop, full front end one up, hits that. I thought the funniest thing about that was that he had Kentucky stickers, but he was also from Kentucky. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't Kentucky Interstate, but Ohio State Patrol doesn't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, Brendan, your dad may drive a Ram, but he's the exception, not the rule. So
I think you can be an asshole whatever you drive. I really don't think it
I noticed
depends on what
we
you
just noticed the
drive.
behavior most in Ram drivers.
there's
is all
a
we're saying.
certain type of person that picks certain vehicles. That is for sure true. Not saying it's all Ram either. It's a certain type of truck, period. But
Yeah, I just thought it was really funny that he got pulled over and I didn't, and nothing happened to me.
it's like that one I seen on Instagram saying, like, could you imagine waking up one day and consciously deciding to buy a Kia Soul
My uncle.
I don't understand why anybody would do it. But whatever.
I still think the best one of those I've ever seen was a meme of the back of a guy's car. It was a Toyota Prius. His back windshield, it says, "I know it's a Prius, but I'm save more money for guns." So it
I've
kind
seen that
of
one.
I
Yeah.
did see that.
counterbalances. I think it's kind of funny.
That's why I drove the Scion for so long, so I could afford a fucking truck.
I would say the worst one for like stereotype actually fitting the stereotype, BMW drivers.
Yes. Oh my god.
I
Throw
actually
the fucking turn signals away, for God's
I
sake.
followed a BMW driver one time into a town and they turned at the same intersection we did, no turn signal, and I started laughing my ass off. And then Dad didn't understand, and I had to explain it to him that Beamer drivers don't use turn signals. And then they turned again without a turn signal, so it's not like they forgot. They just don't use them.
They refuse to.
And I laughed so hard because that's the first time I've ever seen somebody like fit the stereotype perfectly.
They're really bad on interstate too. They go about 90, 95 the entire time, but they won't tell you when they're switching lanes. Just,
Swerving.
Cutting in and out.
oh yeah.
Swerving.
I've only known one person, like personally, that actually drives a Beamer, and he was a guy I went to college with, and he fit the bill
Yeah.
for sure. He was like one of the biggest douches.
Yeah.
Made up a lot of the stories that
But I will tell you what, them fucking cars are fast as fuck. My neighbor's son, he got a Beamer. I can't remember how fast Dad said he had that thing going. I want to say it was pushing 160.
Well, he actually got a new one,
Another one?
newer than the one that you're referring to. And this one, it was up to like 250 somewhere there.
what kind of
on the
Beamer are we
speedometer.
talking about here? We ain't talking about no regular Beamer.
Oh, it's the high class.
It's the high class Beamer.
Damn.
He likes luxury. And he likes to go fast.
Not about how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
It's not mowing the lawn,
I
Brady.
love that saying to this day.
It's a great slang.
It is when you're mowing the lawn.
Was it you that sent me that meme that one time about it was a John Deere lawnmower with a gun strapped to the front of it?
Is that how fast you shoot? It's how well you shoot fast.
Well, the caption said something different, but then I just sent back to you, it's not about how fast you shoot, it's how well you shoot fast. But yes,
I think it might have been something like that. Yeah.
I can't remember what the caption actually said, but
Oh boy.
You good, Alex?
I'm tired, man. I am so glad that Thursday I'm taking off though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say my manager's not exactly happy with electrical right now, but what are you supposed to do when you have 3 green guys and the one that's been there for 2 months is training the other 2?
Yeah.
Shit like that's going to happen whenever you're on a hiring spree.
It was not a hiring spree. It was
firing spree.
it was not a firing spree either. It was the fact that everybody else wanted out.
Quitting spree.
Moving out.
Quitting or
Good song.
retiring?
Quitting, moving to a different department, and getting disqualified.
Hmm.
So you moved to. Okay, never mind. I misheard that. Never mind.
Different department.
I heard apartment at first, and then I
No.
corrected myself.
We moving, boys.
I'm like, wait a minute. He moved apartments, and he's gonna move jobs too.
No, instead of building new machines, a lot of them went to rebuild old ones that get sent back to
Mm.
us. That's where a lot of them went. A couple of them went to engineering. One of them went to take care of the classes that they teach there, and he teaches his classes now. A couple went to other companies, and then the one that was newest other than me got disqualified for being an idiot.
Good shit.
Oh yeah. A series of unfortunate events that made me the senior electrician.
You've worked there for how long?
2 months.
I thought you said.
Like I said, it happens.
You'll
Happens to the
have
best
that
of us.
on them big jobs.
We have those on those big ones. Yeah. On them big
Yeah.
jobs.
Doodly dooby dee dee.
It do be what it do be. It won't be what it won't.
So true.
So I was listening to this ad earlier today, and it was about this online engagement ring company that like you like customize your ring and they send it to you and they say discreet packaging. I'm like, for an engagement ring, you think about that stuff for like sex toys and shit. I'm like, how funny would it be if they sent you an engagement ring, but it was a box from Adam and Eve? Like, how funny would that fucking shit be? Like, well, now my partner thinks I'm a fucking creep, but
I think in that way, it's supposed to deter porch pirates more than anything.
no, I know, but you know,
Well, this ain't a fucking ring.
That, and if you're trying to surprise your significant other, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, that too. Many reasons.
I actually have a funny story about that.
Okay.
So you guys know, I forget what they're called. They're like a certain pair of sunglasses.
Oakley's.
No.
Ray-Bans.
No.
heat waves.
No. It's like the weird.
Pit Vipers.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't say that first.
But a couple years ago, my brother wanted those for Christmas, and I decided to get it for him. And I saw discreet packaging for an extra $1. I was like, you know what? Let's see if this is funny. Go ahead. Comes in, and it says like Joe and Bob's electric sex toys on the sender.
No shit.
Yeah,
That is so funny.
That is funny.
For a pair of pit vipers.
Pit vipers would do that.
I thought that was hilarious. I forget exactly what it said, but I know it was a sex toy company that it said it was from.
I will say the same people that own Pit Vipers also are the douchebags that drive Ram trucks.
Actually, yes.
The two correlate.
I'm not.
You know who drives or has pit vipers?
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Okay.
But he doesn't have a Dodge truck though, so he's cool.
No, but he has a Subaru.
That's even worse.
Yeah, right?
Oi.
Oh, I was thinking of somebody else.
Subaru.
Oh, no.
Those are another.
Oh yeah,
stereotype
Subarus are
amongst
fucking
themselves.
terrible drivers too. They think they're hot shit because I drive a Subaru. No.
Subaru.
They act like they're street racers when it's still stock.
Facts.
These
This
people-
man almost killed me.
Whoa.
And I about murdered this man.
Is it the same one that I said I
Yep.
was going to kill? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep. Same guy.
Okay,
these
cool. As long as we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
these guys I watch on YouTube that do a lot of car stuff. They did a whole series where they build two identical cars, but one gets cheap parts and one gets expensive parts. And then they try to see, which parts are better, if you should cheap out on certain things. Well, like a lot of big point of this one season of this series was they bought Subarus, the old WRXs from the early 2000s, and they were kind of like to prove that they're actually nice cars and they're not as unreliable as people say they are. Throughout this series, they went through 5 engines
Oh my gosh.
between 3 cars because they wrecked one. But
But like, were they beating the ever living fuck out of them, or were they just normal
No.
driving? Just normal driving.
I mean, it wasn't like normal driving, but like they were adding performance parts that should make them more reliable.
But they didn't.
No, they are adding like things that should make them, like they added all the race parts that like should make all the parts that should fail. They replaced them with the better ones that shouldn't fail,
Mhm.
and then they proceeded to just fail anyways. And they were like racing these. These cars were designed to be that way. Like they were supposed to be performance cars.
Right.
And there was a lot of people like hating on them, being like, well, they have this issue from the factory and this issue from the factory and this issue from the factory, and you guys should have fixed these parts. And then they had to do an entire video showing that, hey, we didn't show it on camera, but when we bought every one of them engines, we fixed all those parts to ensure this wouldn't happen.
And it
True.
still fucking happened.
And it still fucking did. 5 engines.
How many engines does it take for you to fucking stop buying engines for this?
Apparently
fucking thing?
5.
They blew up one of the cars, and then like they were like all bummed about it, the first one, and then they were checking the oil on the other car and found metal in the oil and found out that one was about ready to blow up too. Fuck.
Apparently, it doesn't matter what other parts you put on it. The engine is fucking shit.
I'm not a Subaru guy at all. They don't looks wise, they don't do anything for me, and they're not obviously all unreliable, but specifically the Boxer engines and the Subaru WRX from the early 2000s fucked, in my opinion. That's what they had, and it was no good. Cars themselves seem fine, but
Just take that fucking engine out of that sumbitch right away and throw something new in
5
it.
Ella
engines.
swap a Subaru
Yes.
WRX.
I'm sure plenty of people have done that.
Yeah.
LS swap the world. I'm part of that. I would love that.
You want to Ellis swap my Impala?
Fuck it, let's do
Let's
it.
do it. Fuck yeah.
Why not?
6.0 or 5.3, which way are we going?
6.0.
4.8? Even lower.
Now we're talking.
Gonna be the 6.0 V8.
They make bigger, but that's not stock bigger, so.
Go big or go home, buddy.
First, we got to make sure it'll fit.
You talking 6.0 steel block? Or are we going like 6.0 Corvette, aluminum block, weight reduction shit?
Go big or go home.
Might as well just buy a fucking Texas Speed Performance LSX crate engine while we're at it. Got several,
Alex, what's your credit card number?
you're like $30,000 to drop in an engine real quick.
Can you pull me up Google real quick?
No, I don't have the money for this.
That's one of my dreams, is to have a vehicle that someday requires a crate engine.
Alex,
Oh.
how much do you own the house yet?
120.
So that means you got how much are we talking whenever you sell it?
You could sell a
I'll
house,
get-
live in
I'll
a
probably
car.
Probably make by the end of the day 30K.
So enough for an engine. is what I'm
For a
hearing.
crate engine, let's do this.
No, one of my dreams still is to get a diesel powered minivan and to take it to Bugfest just to tell people that my minivan can pull their truck backwards and then pull their truck backwards. With
Do
the
you
minivan.
gotta bleep that?
I don't
Tugfest.
think so. That sounds
That's
pretty
the
generic.
Tugfest.
That's the name of the event.
There's a lot of Tugfests.
Yeah, it's not where it's at. I'd say that's generic enough.
Generic. Okay.
Yeah.
That, and it's not extremely close to us anyways. They know we live in Ohio. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they can look up places in Ohio and find out that place exists.
We never said how close it was either.
Yeah.
We could be going across the state.
You want to go all the way across the state for a fucking Tugfest?
Yes, let's go all the way to the west side of Ohio for Tugfest.
Now you just let people know what part of the state we're at.
Did I?
Didn't say
A
we
little
were
bit.
there. I do like diesel powered things that shouldn't exist.
No, I just think it would be hilarious. Pull up in like a old Chevy Venture body with a freaking diesel in the trunk.
That's a vehicle that needs a different engine for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know from experience.
Head gaskets, they just chew them up.
Oh, you're buying this Venture? Oh, here, let me throw in an extra 2 head gaskets for you.
The worst part about the Venture is like they were like, yes, we're gonna put a V6 in this, but instead of choosing the 3.8 liter V6 that has been so legendary in all of our cars and has been super reliable, we're gonna put this 3.4 liter in here that eats head gaskets like it's their job. That, and you know how hard it would be for you to go out and, like, if you wanted to find a Venture that was actually clean, like not rusted. I couldn't tell you the last time I seen a Venture that didn't have rust.
I can't either.
They're terrible.
I mean, when did they stop making them?
2003.
I thought it was
2003?
ours was an 04, so I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it was.
it might be
I think it was
04.
05, but
It was right in that era.
that was the last
Era.
van
So
that Chevy ever made.
so pretty much right before the Town and Country started coming out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they replaced the Venture with the Uplander. And the Uplander is ugly as fuck.
The Uplander was not made for very long.
No. I don't know if you guys ever seen an Uplander.
I don't think I have.
I think the Uplander was made at the same time as the Venture. I think it
It
was.
was for a little bit, but it replaced the Venture but in the end.
Doesn't even.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, those things are butt ugly.
Yeah.
And then of
They're
course they
Not attractive.
Those are the crackhead soccer mom vehicles.
Yeah.
But they made the Venture in like all the different brands too. There's a Buick version. There's an Oldsmobile. There's a
Oh, there's that beauty. Ah,
What a classic. So many
classic.
great memories in that vehicle right there.
I love
Including the ones where people were fucking in the back while you were driving.
They weren't fucking, they were fondling.
Mm.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Did you see?
I tried not to.
So you don't know.
I like all these pictures are showing like
It was harder
the,
for Alex to undo
the
his
second-
belt to not make any noise.
the second from the left on the bottom.
Don't
like that
mind
one
me.
is someone tried to take the picture of the Chevy Venture like it was super majestic and cool, and it's like this is a mom
That is the
minivan.
It
Chrysler
actually has a
version.
pretty good shot.
What did my
It also
mom
Mountain
the
in the
have?
Chrysler.
background.
My mom had some sort
That's
of
not
Pontiac.
a Chevy. That's Chrysler's.
That's not the one
Has-
I was talking about, but I said left.
Oh,
But I'm pretty sure that is a Chevy Venture still.
oh, it is.
It looks a little
It
funny.
looks weird from that angle, then. Well,
I was thinking the one second row from the bottom on second one from the left. That one.
yeah.
It's about like the mountain shot. Like, that one looks pretty cool.
Oh, that's why it looks weird. It's a 98.
98.
A little older. Probably
Yeah.
the first year they made them.
The classic.
So
Oh, by the
majestic.
way, Sav's here.
Yeah.
Just playing Among Us.
I am.
Yeah, she's playing Among Us because it's 2020 again.
That's kind of sus as fuck of you, Sav.
I've won every single round, whether being imposter or crewmate.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
She's grinding
I am.
hard.
Thanks, Bren.
You have no problem.
No, 'cause the last
0
one-
to 60 and 9.5.
Woo! Speed demon. I still wish they would have just put the 3.8 liter V6 in it, and they could have made a really reliable minivan. But nope,
I want another one. I want another one.
it'll
Yeah.
blow up just like the last one. Just so
And
you
when
know.
it does, that's the excuse to put the Duramax in it.
You're right. You gotta find a clean one. If you could find a clean Chevy Venture, I'd be all about this. I would love to see a like non-rusted Chevy Venture.
You're going to have to go to like Facebook Marketplace or something.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
go down
it's
for a
not-
second. What's that caution? Chevy Venture. Yes, it's fast. No, you can't drive it.
It's one of those generic
You're
signs.
gonna
That's
have to
hilarious.
have a sign like that.
I will put it in the back glass.
That's amazing.
No, I want another venture. I think it would be great to have another venture.
So he could finally lose his virginity.
Yeah, it's already too late for that, but
Ah.
Yeah, 'cause all
not
the
in it.
adventures are
Just
gone.
the first part.
Ah.
But no, I would love to buy a new venture.
New
That'd be
venture.
dope as fuck.
I hope to God like Chevy brings back the Venture, like how Ford brought back the Bronco and completely fucked it up. But except Chevy fucking kills it and making this new fucking Venture.
Something I've always dreamed of having is an Astro. Chevy Astro.
We had
Oh,
one of
that'd be
those.
sick.
We had one of those for like 8 months until the motor blew up on us.
Sure it was probably a little old. And
It was a little old, but I'll tell you what. Whenever we took that thing to a Dayton Dragons game, windshield wipers weren't the best, and it started raining on the way down. Let's just say, Dad's a pro driver.
my grandpa had a GMC Safari, and they sold it when I was like 12 or 13. And I really wish they would have saved that and that been my first vehicle, because I would probably still own that thing to this day, because it was like, it's that odd color of like light blue that they used to make old cars in that
Yeah.
I'm for whatever reason a fan of. And I honestly probably would have taken really good care of that thing. I would have loved to had that. You mentioning the remake of the Chevy Venture, I seen something on Instagram the other day that said, I wish car companies would just like make new old cars. Like I would love to buy just like a 2022, like we'll use Chevy Venture, or 2023, but use the Chevy Venture as an example. A 2023 Chevy Venture, but they just make it in the same body style. They just start manufacturing, old cars again, but
Mhm.
now,
And new stuff, like newer engine, newer
yeah.
electronics, and all that shit
Like
in it.
they're reinventing the wheel. Could you imagine how many people, if they took like the 1969 Camaro and they just made a 2023, how many people would buy one of them?
Oh,
You know how many
you'd be
people would
waiting.
buy?
You'd be waiting months just to be able to fucking
You know how much
order one.
money they would make?
Oh yeah.
They make a shit ton. It just like everybody says, if GM, Ford, and Chevy, one of those three companies, remake a square body,
I was just about to say that.
you know how much fucking money
Good
they would
point.
make?
Yeah.
I would go into debt for one of those fuckers.
A 2023 square body.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Be a lot easier
Brennan's
to get.
getting hard while we're talking right over there. I mean,
I?
I could see it.
You popping a semi
See
there,
it in
bud?
his eyes.
You
I
popping
see
a
it in his
semi there,
dick.
bud?
I see
I see it in his
dick. Yeah, my eye.
He is wearing shorts. The tent is being popped.
He's pinching it fast.
Hey, if you need to play with yourself, there's a bathroom.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll stay right here.
He's just gonna blue ball himself.
He's just gonna wait till the conversation gets to a climax. Those dark blue shorts will have a white stain.
Brennan knows how to fondle himself without touching it.
He just has to think to masturbate.
I telepathically masturbate with my mind.
Isn't that how you telepathy?
Yes.
It would telepathy. Oh, what's the difference?
Telepathy. And
I'm not
logic.
thinking of telekinesis. I was thinking telepathy.
Yeah,
What are you thinking of?
I'm trying to remember what the difference between the two is.
I mean, what?
Telepathy and telekinesis.
Telekinesis is moving things with your mind.
Okay.
I'm just telling my dick that you're gonna feel this sensation right now.
Yep.
I'm not moving
Get
nothing.
the sensation
Stimulate your senses.
right now. Do it.
Chew 5 gum. Not sponsored.
But if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to,
Yet.
Yeah, until they start hearing the promos that we got for them. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna want to hire us.
Oh, you just wait.
I mean, cringy is like the new cool, so
I guess.
a lot of cringy YouTubers and podcasters are getting a lot more sponsors than the actual family-friendly shit.
This is the only picture of that van I could find. But it's just got that old style look that like you just
Hell yeah.
don't get anymore.
Nah, for real, I miss my dad's Astro. I wish that thing would have lasted a little longer.
There was a guy I watched on YouTube that built out an Astro. He like lifted it, put big tires on it, and then he like built out the back so that he could like it would be like a off-road rig that he could also live out of. So when he's like goes on off-roading trips, he's got himself all the stuff he could need to sleep and all that cool stuff. And he called it the Bad Astro. And it actually had like a custom built
Badge.
like laser cut bumper that was
Mm.
welded in, and it had these like big beefy bumpers on the front and back. Said Bad Astro. That thing was sweet.
With a couple $100,000, we can do something like that
Wouldn't even take that much for an Astro.
for the machining.
All you gotta do is like find somebody who's got a plasma cutter. I know a couple people.
My boss.
I know a third person. There we go.
There we go.
He,
I know a guy who can weld it together.
he bought it on
Yeah.
Facebook for like $500.
That's not bad at all.
No, that's why he bought it.
I think it'd be really cool to get buy an old machine shop with all the machines in it.
I think it'd be cool just to have a garage to do stuff in, because that's something I don't have.
For once, Savannah is hot in here.
That's what I was
I'm
wondering.
burning up.
She even told herself, "I'm gonna wear 2 socks because I'm gonna be so cold."
I have 2 pairs of socks on right now.
Yeah, you over prepared.
I told you it was warm in here when we got in
You
here.
done diddly done did.
It's getting to summertime, Sav. You got to prep a little bit.
It's still kind of cold outside.
Yeah, but it's getting to summertime.
It's
Getting
brisk.
there.
Do you miss your old spot now?
No.
Because you'd probably be cold right here.
Yeah.
You mentioning the machine shop reminds me of all the I'll see stuff on like Instagram that'll be talking about different things, and then a comment will just say like, you're getting old when these things are cool to you, and I'm like, fuck. I'm looking at tools and shit. I'm like, fuck.
No, but how cool would it be to be like, just buy an old machine shop that has like the overhead cranes, a lathe, good bandsaw, whole 9 yards.
Things I could do with an overhead crane.
Yes. The things I would have fun with an overhead crane. You bet your ass I'm buying a harness and I'm hanging from that crane and flying down this aisle. You bet your ass I
Fucking
am.
just lift yourself off the ground and then run a little bit and then just like release and glide across
Just
until you
like-
hit the wall.
Hold the pedestal in your hand and just constantly hold up and forward and just go woof.
That's not what I would dream to do with an overhead crane, but whatever. I'm
Hey,
thinking of the practical uses, I guess.
I work too much with overhead cranes to think of the practical uses. I
How
mean,
about that practicality?
when you have a 12-ton crane and harnesses available to you that fit directly in that crane's hook where you're supposed to tie off at. Tell me that thought doesn't go through your head.
Doesn't. Never has until you mentioned it.
That thought has constantly gone through my head. The bit of getting fired to do that.
Still got time.
Well, if Alex ever hits fuck it, he knows how he's going to do it.
Yeah. You know how I'm going to do it. There'll be a story in the news. Man goes mad at machine shop. Uses overhead crane to lift himself up in
You
a harness and fly across the assembly
No.
floor.
If you ain't making the news on that, the fucking news is fucking fake.
Yeah.
I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, if you'd have told me then that I would want tools nowadays, like I would just be like buying new tools and enjoyed tools, I'd tell you you're fucking nuts.
I just looked over.
What the hell's going on over here?
It's like,
It's past my bedtime.
It's past your bedtime.
Yeah.
I'm going to be awake in 5 hours.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
it's an ishme. It's not an issue. I know.
Whoa, Brennan, what do you got there? That thing's pretty cool
hey,
looking.
speaking of which, yeah.
Speaking of that,
Whoa!
Let me whip up my gun
Yeah,
here.
we better get into that. We're getting pretty far.
that's
into
why I
this
did it. I looked over, I was like, fuck, Brennan hasn't even
Hey, at least
talked
we
yet.
got good conversation
Gotta get
going
the
so
poop
far.
sock off of it.
Get that rusty old poop sock off that sumbitch.
More of a cum sock if
It's
I
like
do
it's
say so
starched.
myself.
It's like
No, it's
starched.
black. It'll be a terrible fucking cum sock.
Yeah, it'd show everywhere.
Go everywhere. Those are white, Brady. Get your.
What color do you think they start out as?
That's an old cum sock.
Holy shit.
I think you need a new cum sock, Brady.
The fact that you can still stretch it is amazing.
But you guys replace your cum socks?
This is like crunchy and
So gross.
Yeah, I rotate mine out every, couple months.
Couple months.
yeah, after they get crusty and hard, like I mean,
Depends on how much you use them.
Let's say mine's a couple days.
Why do you think I was. Brady,
Couple hours or so.
Brady, why do you think I was so eager to get a new washer recently?
Look on Sam's face.
that is so funny.
Oh, now she's crying.
I just
over the
about
thunder.
said something. I just about said something that I really would have regretted, so I'm just gonna leave my mouth shut.
Oh, you do not know how many times Sav says something in the group chat, and I'm about to say something. I'm like, nah, I probably shouldn't.
I'm gonna write a note to say that after the podcast, just so that I can leave directly afterwards, so Sav's not mad at me.
That was good. That was funny. Anywho,
She'll be fine.
Hey, what's that, Brennan?
thank you for reintroducing me. This is a car 98K.
A car?
Not that car.
Are you gonna introduce your segment?
Oh, yeah. Hey, this is BGT JFF.
With your homeboy Brennan.
Thank you, Sav, for doing that.
Yeah, I was a little far away.
Anyways, car 98K, that stands for Carabiner 98 Kurtz, which means carbine, year 98, short. So really, it's actually not a carbine. It was never meant to be, but it was because of those shifty Germans wanting to get around the Treaty of Versailles, so that way they could actually make this rifle. They called it a carbine, so that way they could get around it. But this is not a carbine, it's just called one. This was adopted by the German military just prior to World War II in 1935, made 14 million of them between
Quite a bit.
1935 and 1945. So 10 years, they made 14 million of these bad boys.
I forgot that's an option.
Sav's being a dick.
You just mute her.
Yes.
Solid.
I forgot that was an option entirely.
You guys think you have power over me taking away my mic? can
I
take away
am
yours.
power.
Says the guy not holding a gun. So
I've only got one bullet, so.
Perfect for Alex.
Hey! Speaking of that bullet, it is 8mm Mauser. This thing packs a punch.
I have
Really is.
shot 8mm
this one.
Mauser, and I had never realized how big the actual projectile is versus the actual casing.
It packs a punch.
I could take it.
No.
Brennan, I am built different, God damn it.
You want to test this out?
Yes.
Have you ever
Alright.
shot? Have you ever
Hi
shot
guys,
this thing?
welcome to Factor Cap.
We're gonna replace Aaron's torso with Kevlar.
Kevlar?
Kevlar.
Kevlar cybernetics. Just all the skin on his torso
Hey,
is
you
now
know,
Kevlar.
my whole chest will just be one giant robot. We got this.
Yeah.
Anyways, the 98, that comes from the Gewehr 98. That's what this rifle's based off of. That was the World War I rifle. This is a shorter version. It's got different sights, different bolt, different things like that, but it's still got the same action. Very famous action, the Mauser action. Pretty much the basis for all modern bolt action rifles. They pretty much all steal something or another out of this action. The problem with this gun, it's a very good gun. It served in World War I very well, and this version served well too. The problem was that by that time, most other militaries had already adopted like mass-produced submachine guns. Germany had those, but
They also mass produce these things too.
yeah, because Hitler, he was big on his symbolism, and he saw the 98 rifle as being like a symbol of German pride and such like that, and he wanted his soldiers mostly armed with these. So, yeah, that was a problem, and they had submachine guns, but they didn't have enough of them. They were mostly armed with these, and that caused a pretty big issue, obviously. So actually, these kind of saw some service after the War II. The Russians captured a shit ton of them, and those got sent to like their allies, and like Vietnam. These were in Vietnam quite a bit because they sent troops or guns down there. Countries that were occupied by Germany had these too because they left a shit ton behind, and they had their factories. So they had the factory there. We're just gonna make them too, and that's gonna actually be my next gun because I have one of those from Yugoslavia. That's months down the line, but just a little foreshadowing.
Next episode.
The very next episode. And actually, there are accounts of these being used by groups like the Taliban against American troops. So they are still being used.
Still
and
being
things like
used.
that. Which, if you know anything about Taliban and groups like that, it's not very uncommon because they pretty much take whatever they can get.
Yeah.
Like Mosins from the early 1890s are still being used over there. So it's
Why do you think they got Toyota trucks?
yeah. So this one was made in 1939. So like this one was an early year. So like right before the war even started. And this was made at the actual Mauser plant at Oberndorf. Cock on open. So you gotta do that sort of thing. All the tension in the beginning, and then follower. If I can close the follower, kind of hard to do this. There, you bastard. Why is it not working? This is awkward.
You want me to work on it?
I'll get it. There we go.
There we go.
So,
Who's a big boy?
all the I am. So all the tension at the beginning, and then close like that. If you look on it, you will see swastikas. They're called Waffenamps. It's just a proofing mark that they have on them. This one is all numbers matching as well. The parts that are here. Pretty cool.
So
Let's see.
everything on this gun is original.
Everything except the follower.
The follower.
I should say everything but the follower.
So
And the
they-
stock.
Well, yeah, that's another story. So I'm going to pass this
I
around.
was gonna say
That's
they had a
the
polymer stock.
interesting
gun? I didn't think
thing-
they did.
Yeah.
About this one is that most likely it was a purchase from a Sears catalog or something like that, because you actually used to be able to do that, was buy military surplus guns out of catalogs.
I'm jealous of that.
They had a bunch of them, and actually very cheap too, relative to what they are now. So, this was my great uncle's, before he gave it to my grandpa. And it got stolen at one point. It got robbed, and he had a lot of military stuff similar to this. They got stolen as well. And they didn't find a lot of the stuff back. I want to say actually this is like the only thing that they found. But the stock had been, like, all this stuff that you see was taken out of the stock. Why exactly that was kept, I have no idea. And like the rest of it was pawned off because it was found at a local pawn shop somewhere. So why they did that exactly, I have no idea. But everything is there aside from the stock and all the extra stuff around that.
So it had the stock whenever it was stolen,
Yes.
and then they, for whatever reason, just stole the stock.
Yep. And
Maybe
can
they
ver-
thought it would be sell for more if they put a synthetic stock on it at the time. I don't
no,
know.
like there was no stock.
Oh,
it
it was
was
sold in a gun
just-
shop.
Like just like the barrel, the action, trigger group, all that stuff, all the original things like the metal here that you see. That's all that was sold.
That's weird.
My one cousin bought that stock for my grandpa when he still had it. So
Where are all the waffle stomps on this
Wha-
thing?
The waffles.
waffle stomps.
That's a good, I like
waffle
that.
stomps.
I
So-
found one of them up towards the
There's
right
one
there.
right here.
That's the one I found. It's really small.
Oh, now I see it. Okay, okay. I didn't notice they were inside the circle
That's
there.
one of 'em.
I saw
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
I
they've
didn't.
got the eagle on them.
Okay.
And there's 3 right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at it really close
Yeah,
earlier,
I
trying to
didn't
figure
realize
out.
they were inside the circle by the eagle. Because I saw all the eagles. I'm like,
Yeah, so
"Oh."
the Waffenopt is the whole thing. So like the eagle on top of the swastika.
I
in
seen the
circle.
eagle and I was like, all right, what are the chances there actually is a swastika in the little circle? And I had to look really close at it to find it. But
I don't know about
you,
you,
know,
but I think waffle
I
stomp
got
sounds
her.
better.
I can see her. I still think these sites that are on basically all the guns you bring in is just so intriguing and interesting.
That was one of the things that got improved with this one, because the regular, like the original G98, had what's called the Longavizir, which is long vision sight, and it's dubbed in military surplus circles the roller coaster sight because that's what it looks like. It goes wee, like something like that. And the sight picture is not great, so this was a big improvement, even though that looks so cool on something like that. It's very 19th century.
I just find like the sites are so like modern day. I've mostly been exposed to modern day weaponry and modern day firearms, so you don't see anything like that. I mean, the closest thing I've seen to that is what's on my 22, and it has that little like spring metal that you can kind of raise or lower if you unscrew it and take a little plastic piece back and forth. But just the innovation behind it it's weird to think about because I wouldn't have thought about that designing a firearm now.
Right.
this back here is the safety, right?
That's the safety.
That's what I thought. I have shot this thing. It's just been a really long time.
Yep.
I like that they just directly on it stamp 1939. There is no debate. Like some guns, you gotta really look into it to figure out how old something is.
Right. All of them have a year stamped on them like that. And you'll see there's a 42 of that. That is denoting what factory it was made at. So they all have their own factory code for whatever year. And
I'm really glad they did that.
well, the Germans are very efficient with numbering and things like that.
Not everybody, is that easy to figure out history on shit.
That's one of the great things about the German guns is that you pretty much will always find information like that.
Sav, did you want to pass it down or do I need to pass it back the other direction?
You can pass it the other direction.
Fine, you can just insult Brennan. Didn't want to see
Uh,
his cool gun.
So-
This thing does pack a punch. Like it's got some serious kick to it. It's good.
Remember, the first time I shot it was at your 100-yard target, and that thing smacked. It was just like, boom.
Satisfaction.
Actually, I think we broke a chain on that one that day as well. With
That
this
happens.
thing.
It is what it is.
It do be what it do.
Dad's literally got an entire
It won't be
bucket
what it
of
won't.
chain for replacing chains on targets. So
I still got to build mine up. I'm still pissed at myself for it. I just need to pull the trigger and do it.
unintended, I'm sure.
Right,
Not really, no.
well, that should be everything about this one. Some similar features to other ones I've had before. So,
What's your plan for finding a stock for this? Is this a hard thing to find a stock
actually,
for?
not necessarily. So there's a great company out there called Numrich or Numric, whatever
I know
however
of
you
them.
pronounce it, and you can actually build an entire one of these with parts from there, the reproduction parts. But like, yeah, so I need to order a stock and then all of the metal
I was gonna say it doesn't look
keys that come with that.
near as cool with the polymer stock as it does.
Uh,
Because I think that's the one thing that I don't like about my what is it? the
You have a
American
Mossberg Patriot.
Yeah, my Patriot is the. I'm always a big fan of the wood stocks. I don't really care that much for the polymer stocks on those kind of rifles.
I have some of both, so I mean, for practicality reasons, like if you're actually going to use a gun, to be honest, the synthetic stock, it holds down on weight, and you know, you don't have to worry about the wood getting too dry or too wet and either cracking or it's a lot of issues you don't have to deal with. But when it comes to something like this, where Brennan's got a collector's gun, of course you're going to want the wood stock.
Yeah, so
But I wouldn't get rid of that stock because the story is sweet.
I'm gonna keep that whenever I do this, and that's been something that I've had planned for a few years now. I told myself that I would buy that stuff before I bought another gun, and well, obviously
Here
that
we
hasn't
are.
happened.
Several guns down.
This is actually the first gun that I owned of this sort. Not the first one I bought, but the first one that I owned because
First
Grandpa gave it
military
to me.
surplus.
So it's pretty cool. It'll look cooler and more original someday.
So that time at our house, that was the first time you'd ever shot this?
Yeah, that was the year that he gave it to me. So
Really?
I still think we need to just take a day to go to your house and just go nuts.
someday
Oh, this summer we should.
Brennan's already got his chance to do that, so.
go ham.
One day on his birthday, we literally had him over and
Oh, I couldn't shoot any of these because
yeah, he actually didn't bring any of his guns that time, but
He's like, "Hey, you want to shoot shit? Yeah, let's do it."
I still love the excitement on your face that time you shot that water bottle off of that water
That was
jug.
that same day.
Was it that day? I
Yeah,
couldn't
that-
remember.
That was so cool.
He had my 223 bolt action. He shot the cap off of a water jug. I don't remember how far away it was.
Really shot the cap off of it. Did not like blow up the bottle. Just shot the cap off of it.
Like he just perfectly shot the cap off, and like he, at the time, military surplus. He was interested in it, but he, he doesn't had anything with like big scopes on it or anything or stuff like that. So just you seem very, very pumped about that, and it was kind of cool to see you pumped about something besides military surplus rifles.
Oh, regardless of what I shot it with, that was cool. I've done that.
It's a fun time shooting that gun. That gun I have some very fond memories of. And now my sister has used it for a gender reveal, so it's even
yes.
yeah.
Have you guys seen slow-mo on it?
Mm.
Oh, yep, that's on me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I got it.
I have the video. Actually, I
Mark it
took
down.
one of them, and then
I know
you
he
took the other.
posted mine.
What was
Mine
what
stays
was
slow mo the
slogan?
entire way. Of us shooting the
Oh, the
tannerite.
slow-mo. Yeah.
Not slogan, slow-mo.
I thought you said slogan for some
No.
reason.
He literally we were standing out there and he looks at me and goes, take a slow-mo video. I was like, I wasn't really going to do anything. He's like, no, take a slow-mo video for me. I was like, all right, I can do that.
My sister, she shot it and exploded, and then she gets all emotional and shit. And she just kind of sets the gun down and then all right, I guess it's up to me to, take care of this. So everybody's celebrating and I'm just clearing my gun and putting it away and
And I was over there collecting headphones and
Being the
I didn't really
being
care
the
either way.
professional that you aren't.
I already
No
knew
need
the
to
answer
thank
beforehand.
me.
And then I also
It's fine. I just work here.
I kept the cartridge, the empty shell casing, because I thought it would be neat. And then I figured I would give it to my sister and she'd be like, yeah, I have no reason to keep this. Well, I gave it to her and she was actually super excited that I kept it. And they plan on possibly putting it on a necklace or something.
So I thought you were going to make it into something else if you could.
That's their plan, I guess. I didn't expect them to even want to keep the thing, to be honest.
slow drill a hole through it, throw a chain through it.
Yeah, this is the one I shot my baby with.
I told them
Shit.
in the future, have another kid, do the same gender
Shot your
reveal, and
load.
you could add to this necklace,
Or you could save these and you can give them to your kid. And they could each have their own necklace. And hey, maybe she uses a different gun, different caliber. So they have different ones, sort of thing.
One for every gun that you have.
Why'd you shoot
Not all
mine
of
with a
them.
BB gun? I don't like this.
Not all of them
Yes, every
can,
single one.
can blow up tannerite because you have to get over 2,000 feet per second. So
I'm sure we can make an air cannon that can do that.
an air can.
That's the funny thing, is that you can make air-powered guns all you want legally, as long as it's not powered by explosions.
They can also so suppressors only count as suppressors when they're on, firearms. So if you put a suppressor on a pellet gun,
Makes
That's
it louder.
no, it doesn't make it louder, but it's completely legal to, like, I have a 22 pellet gun that comes with a suppressor, but since it doesn't shoot like actual 22 bullets, it's fine to have a suppressor. You don't have to do the tax stamp and all that stuff.
Now,
It does actually quiet it down.
quite a bit.
You get that much air moving, you're going to have noise. It doesn't matter if it's, from
Right.
powder or otherwise.
I mean,
Take an oil can, screw on the end of your gun, you're fine.
They make a adapter for the end of your gun that you can do that. But the adapter is like $75. At the time I watched a YouTube video about it, but they were $75. But then that counts, the adapter itself counts as a suppressor, so you still have to go through the $200 tax stamp and the waiting
Jesus
period and all the
Christ.
paperwork.
Fuck it. Plastic water bottle, shove that bitch full of grass, you're fine.
I've heard of sketchier things, so
People have done it.
yeah.
You only get a couple uses out of it, but people have done it.
I take it you don't like that.
Well, you sat there and played Among Us for how long?
Are you booing me? I'm right.
Well, I think we got a good episode in.
El Presidente, would you like to plug our socials? Or is that in our intro?
It's not in our intro
If it's
yet.
not,
I think
it
we need to
should
make
be.
it
Yeah,
our
I
intro.
know it
I
should
think
be.
that- yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good way to actually like integrate it so that way it doesn't sound like it's just,
But we record something and then you just put it on the beginning.
well,
with
that's kind of what we did with the intro, and I kind of like how I don't know if you guys actually listened to it. I know Aaron and Seth probably have.
No,
No,
Just me.
I haven't had time.
but it actually has like a nice transition into this now, and I have a feeling that if I throw the socials in there, that it's going to feel abrupt and more like a
Well,
commercial.
why don't we just redo it then?
What if there's a
It's not the intro itself and then cutting that in. It is just like, I don't know, maybe I'll throw it before
What
would
if
probably
you-
be
Why
the
don't
best.
why don't we just
I'll get it. Don't
make a
worry.
recording and then put it at the very end? That
Or
way,
like,
that way
what if-
every time
I
you
would
don't
put
have
at
to
the
say it.
end, I would like maybe splice it in
That's what I was
where
wondering.
we have like
Like, oh, by the way,
Some people do it like an ad read where, like, in the
Yeah.
middle of the podcast, if we have a spot where we stop talking about something and you get that little bit of silence and then we go into something else, just splice it in the middle of there.
or whenever we have like a lull where nobody talks about anything, just like
Mhm.
sit there. And then it sounds natural, even if we talk about the same thing after that.
All right.
Well, it just sounds like more work for Alex.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Get bent,
Alice, you want to do
Alex.
it?
I'll figure it out. I'll throw it right at the beginning. I'll probably throw it right at the beginning before we even intro, and then it'll go into our intro, so that way it'll feel like they're over the ad read. Because that's one thing I hate about podcasts is when they randomly throw in the ad reads. Like, I get why they do it, but I don't like how some of them do it. That makes sense. My favorite ones are ones that literally just throw it right at the beginning, or they even do the intro, because you can just go skip, skip, skip. Okay, we're in the intro, so I can continue listening now instead of listening to the ad read for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There's some people I watch on YouTube that put like a progress bar of the ad at the bottom.
yeah,
And so when I go to like skip forward, it shows that little box at the bottom that shows what's going on, and I can see the bar going across. And I just go right to the end, and then I press play again, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
I hope that YouTube doesn't find a way to fix that, or like,
I mean,
People
you can
don't
put it
start
in
to-
your edit. You can put it in the video itself.
yeah, but I just hope they don't find a way to like counteract that. And
They won't. They don't care enough to do that. I mean, they're not getting any money out of those ad reads, so they're not going to
I'm
care.
saying the people, I guess themselves, don't start to.
I mean, they know what they're getting into with that shit. They should at least. And if they don't, then they're stupid. Anyways, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as BL Hooligans. You can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, and many other I mean, by many, I mean like 2 other podcast platforms, is Borderline Hooligans. And as always, if you're curious, we're on a social media page. Please just look up Borderline Hooligans. It's not hard. I'm sure you can find us. Make it very simple to find people. On that note,
Bye. Pit Viper and Ram truck owners all waffle stomp their turds down the shower.